have to tune in later to find out. Well, Entertainment Weekly praises the book Tempest as a surprising emotional punch that leaves you wanting to leap into the future to devour the upcoming sequel.
And thankfully we have that sequel. And joining us with more information is author Julie Cross. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's start with the Tempest. If people aren't familiar with the Tempest, what was that kind of about? And then how do we get into Vortex?
Well, the whole series is it's a little bit science fiction. It's teen fiction, so it's in the, probably 14 and up readers. It's a little bit of a love story, and it's a little bit kind of CIA thriller-ish. It follows my main character, Jackson Meyer, who witnesses his girlfriend's murder, and he jumps back in time. He's a time traveler, a biologically based time traveler, and he gets stuck 2 years in the past, and he spends that time in 2007 trying to get forward again and kind of prevent her death in the future.
So
this
now we've
sounds
got
awesome.
Yeah. So now we've got Vortex, the sequel. What can people expect from this book?
Vortex is even more CIA thriller-ish. My main character, Jackson, actually joins a division of the CIA, and he goes through training, and he learns kind of covert operations, and lots of really fun spy stuff for sure. But it's very fast-paced, the second book, and it's kind of angsty, and there's a lot going on.
So did you have to do research on CIA stuff, or where'd you get your information for that stuff?
That's the beauty of the CIA, is no one really knows what goes on, so it's very adaptable to fiction writing. So I could be an undercover agent, and you guys wouldn't know any better, and I could be writing it perfectly.
You may have just put it on the cover, though.
I may have, but then that's a great cover, is to admit on TV that you're a CIA agent. No one's going to believe you. I love it.
I don't know what to think anymore.
So it's so easy to write the CIA part.
Wow.
So you just had a book signing this past weekend. What has the response been like for this new book?
Surprisingly, with the second book, you don't put out as many early copies, so you don't get as many reviews. Whereas Tempest, 6 months before, I was getting reviews. I think they put out 5,000 early copies. There was a lot online, so I was waiting, November, December, January, waiting for those reviews to pop up, and it was getting very tense in my head as far as if anyone was going to like it. And I have yet to have a negative review, and most people have said they liked it better than the sequel, which to me is the best thing you can hope for as an author. Yeah. They like the sequel better than Tempest.
That has to make you feel good.
It does, absolutely. It's a relief.
Well, and then talking about, these books kind of getting made into movies, and your books were bought by the same company that did the Twilight books, right?
Yes.
So do you have any, well, actually, let me ask you this. Who do you want to play your main character? If you were casting the movie, who do you think should play the character?
If I were casting, I won't be casting, just to be sure.
Okay.
But everybody knows that. I always like to say that. I really like Logan Lerman, who was in The Perks of Being a Wallflower recently. He was also in Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief. So he's kind of done the action, lots of green screen
Is he kind of a skinny guy?
He's kind of a skinny guy, yeah. And my main character, he's a little smaller. He's not a huge guy.
I don't want to, put any ideas in your head, but I think I could play the skinny guy.
I will put you on the list.
Put me on that list
There
that
you
you're
go.
in charge of doing, right?
There's actually 2 skinny guys, so
You got multiple
Don't get my
options.
hopes up.
there is the scientific resource genius best friend, Adam Silverman, he's a favorite character online in reviews.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I can wear
interesting.
glasses
He
Oh,
does wear
right,
glasses.
if that's required. Good.
So how has your life changed since writing these books that have been so very popular, and what's coming up for you in the future?
I don't know that my life has changed too much. I guess rather than being a hyped author, I'm now an author that's out there. So that part is wonderful, to actually have a book that people can read and they can decide if they like it or not. And some do and some don't. So that part is wonderful. The fan emails that I get from adults, from teen readers. I got an email just a couple days ago that was, I think the subject was a senior citizen who really likes Tempest. So I think it was a 63-year-old man that sent me an email. So the audience has been really broad. That's been exciting. That's probably one of my favorite parts.
And is there another book coming in the series?
Book 3, that's the final one. It's a trilogy, and that will come out next January, 2014.
So what can we expect from that one? Have you got it started yet in your mind, or is it all
It's
still...
done, actually. It's done.
thoughts on my character, nerdy guy?
Well, he is pretty important in the third book, and really everything is answered, which is so much fun to write. Is finally I can answer all the questions that have been building up throughout the series.
Nice. And then do you have plans for more books with series, or?
I have a few books that aren't really science fiction or anything. They're more like contemporary young adult fiction. I have a couple of those manuscripts ready, so hopefully we'll be selling those soon, and maybe they'll be out even before the third book on Tempest.
Well, very nice. Well, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks for sharing these books with our viewers. I'm sure they're going to enjoy them. If you would like more information on Julie Cross and her books, visit CILiving.tv after today's show. Well, up next is Work From Home Monday. Camry Day is here, so stay tuned to see what they're all about.